What do you want to do before you die? When are you going to die? How much time have you spent planning that thing you know you should do? How much more research, planning, preparation do you need before hitting the go button? So get that chopper. Every man dies, but not every man lives.
What's going on, Mayhem and Motorcycles? World Wide Web. My name's Danny. I'm from Lubbock, Texas. Well, I live in Lubbock, Texas. I'm from Decatur, Texas. I retired after 25 years in the Army. Moved out here to Lubbock, Texas and started my own welding business, which seems to be helping out with some of my good chopper friends. And my life revolves around my kids, my loved ones, my motorcycles, and the monster standing behind me. So what got me into motorcycles is, I guess I'm about to say, it was back in probably 1988. My dad rode the first motorcycle I ever touched off the back of his truck, and I had to help him. It was a 1984 Harley Davidson Softail. I'm pretty sure it was called a Standard back then. Remember, it was red, had the gold trim on it, had Hog on the license plate, like HO triple G or something like that. It was crazy. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. So I knew from that moment that me and bikes were gonna be friends. Shortly after that, graduated high school and joined the military. And as a young enlisted person, didn't have a lot of money, so the most affordable thing at the time was a motorcycle. So I went down to a local shop, bought my first bike. It was a 1985 Suzuki GS 550. I don't know if y'all ever seen one of them, but it's not the coolest bike on the planet. I rode it forever, like every day. Lucky I was in California, so the weather wasn't horrible. Moved from that to a sportier bike, a GS 750 Suzuki, which was more of a crotch rocket style bike. And I remember that I had to keep buying the bikes that I could afford, even though I kept seeing all the bikes I wanted, which always started with the Harley Davidson name for some reason. Moved from that GS to I can't remember the year it was. It had to have been like a 92 something, 93 Honda CBR. Was a 929, I think is what it was, which is a real crotch rocket. And then went from that bike to the first Harley I owned, which funny enough was still a crotch rocket. Yep. I started with a bike I could afford, the Buell Blast. Little 500cc bike that Harley Davidson and Eric Buell designed. I rode that bike, and for some of y'all that know Harley's trading deals, a Sportster, you buy it, and a year later they give you all your money back for it. I don't know that's a smarter sales pitch, y'all. I put almost 60,000 miles on that little Buell Blast in 11 months. Traded it back in, they gave me my money back for it. They didn't get any money out of it. I traded that bike in for a Buell Cyclone 1200. That was the big Sportster motor. Rode it forever. Actually got it paid off. And in the process, I got my first chopper. I fell in love with them. Everybody's seen them on TV and everything else. And being down here in Texas, I felt like I needed a piece of Texas history, so I found me a 2006 Iron Horse Texas chopper. 124 cubic inches of S&S Fury, and I'm gonna tell y'all, that was a fun bike. I was missing that chopper feel, that knowing that I was gonna have to work on it, or knowing that it was gonna leak oil, or I don't know what it is. That long, stretched out, 9 foot from nose to tail, beat you to death ride. Well, a good friend of mine at the time, he was in the Army with me, Coy Brummett, had a couple of bikes, and he got into a bind. I mean, we've all been through it, and needed to sell it. Well, the bike that I got from him, we only let 2 people ride it besides himself, and that was me and one other cat. Because it's a dangerous bike. It was a dangerous bike. He come to me and asked me if I wanted to buy it. I happened to have the money at the time, so I bought it. And the sad part about it was it wasn't running. The neck was broken on it. A bunch of parts needed replaced. And the sad thing for me is Coy never got to see me finish it. Coy hasn't got to see me go out and enjoy it and ride it like he did. Coy passed about, I think, 3 or 4 months after I bought the bike from him, in his sleep. And I keep in touch with his wife, and I send her pictures and videos of me doing crazy things with my buddies like AJ, riding off-road, and I don't know. But I keep her up to snuff of what's going on with it. I finally got it. When I got it finished, got it registered, I got personal military plates on it. Coy and myself both got a Bronze Star while we were in, so I got the Bronze Star license plate on it. No, I take that back. It's the Meritorious Service Medal that's on that bike. And I got his nickname on the bike, on the license plate, and it's Wart, which kind of fits the bike because it's ugly. There's not a lick of paint on it. It's shiny in some places, but I don't care what it looks like. Coy didn't care what it looked like. I don't care. So this is Wart, my 2001 FXR inspired chopper, 9 foot long nose to tail. Got a 1985 80 cubic inch Evo CV carb, open headers and exhaust, shiny paint. Just kidding, I'm not planning on painting it. Yes, it has a grate for a seat. It's comfortable. It does ride. I do ride it like that. Coy, this video is out to you, brother. I love you and I miss you. So I spoke to Coy yesterday and I asked him, how's that steel horse ride on the streets of gold? Does the promised land have any old back roads? Ain't a doubt you've done a burnout on a cloud. Knowing you probably laid her down. Have you revved it up while the angels sing? Did God get on you? Did he take your wings? Well, you better have him back before I get in, because brother, we're gonna ride again.
I'm Danny, and this is how I chop.